So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here with my good friend Max.
Hello.
I've been friends with Max for over a year. I wanted to do this interview with Max because I find his story super interesting. That literally moving to Thailand literally saved his life. One thing me and Max really connected is that he's Asian American just like myself. He's Thai American that grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. And living in Baltimore, you had a pretty rough upbringing, yeah?
I wouldn't say rough upbringing.
Yeah.
My parents were middle class. My
Yeah.
mom, she was a nurse. My dad, he worked various jobs.
But both your parents were from Thailand, from
Yep.
Bangkok.
Yep.
Okay.
They met in the States. Got married, had me. Yeah. Then my parents got divorced when I was about 7. Then used to come back and forth, see my dad here during my summers over there and the rainy season here, which is not fun. Yeah.
So you literally had no summers whatsoever.
Not really until I was able to drive, and I said I'm not coming back here again. And I didn't come back for 11 years. Then came back with my good friends, had a blast, and then didn't come back for another 11 years, and then came back here.
So can you tell me about your upbringing in Baltimore, like growing up as a kid?
Growing up as a kid, it was cool.
Were you with like a lot of Thai American families?
Yeah, so there's a group of us it's called TPA, Thai Physicians Association. So most of the doctors are fathers and the nurses are mothers. So most of my friends were their parents were the doctors or the mothers were the nurses. My mom, she was a nurse. So there was always a group of us that we were close knit, like 5, 6 of us that was close knit.
All the Thais that immigrated over to Baltimore, Maryland were affiliated with the medical profession.
Of them, yes. Yeah. So it was a small community, but a tight-knit community. So everyone knew your business.
I mean, that's an annoying small town feel.
It can be, yeah.
So your mom was a nurse. Was your father in the medical field as well?
No, my dad, he worked various jobs. He ended up becoming a bookie.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was fun because we had a lot of the parties, Sunday night football, any boxing event, anything big on pay-per-view, you could say, was at my house, and they'd party pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of sports gambling.
A lot of sports gambling.
You know, just like my household too.
Yeah, that's how Asians do it, man.
Yeah, Asians love gambling. It's
Yes, sir.
You were also the only child as well too.
Only child.
Only child. So at what age did that your parents divorced?
I was probably about 7.
7.
Yeah. So, you know, being in an Asian household, Asian parents aren't really supposed to get divorced. So my parents, out of the group that I can recall, was the first ones to get divorced. So, yeah, growing up, you'd always wonder why he left or why they got divorced. So sometimes you blame yourself, but once you get older and realize it's for the best, then you kind of figure it out.
And it was pretty rough. I would imagine,
It wasn't fun, yeah. Weekends at someone's house, 3 days here, there, 3 days there,
Yeah.
It wasn't fun, but you had to make do.
Over the weekends at your friend's place, did you hang out with mostly just Thai Americans growing up?
White kids, black kids, you name it, whatever.
Yeah.
So my mom, she worked graveyard shifts, so she busted her ass to support me. So when she got home, she slept from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I didn't really have a curfew for anything, so I had a free range to do anything.
You can do whatever the hell you want.
Pretty much, yeah.
I remember you telling me that you kind of got into some trouble going to high school, right?
Not high school. High school, I was a good-ass kid, actually. Just sports. It was a religious school, so you didn't really know much about the world till you got out of high school.
Yeah.
Then I got to college, and then realized the world really wasn't that bad. And then, yeah, you start making choices, start partying, you're young, start doing stuff like that. Realized college wasn't for me, then went to barber school, and, continued with that.
Yeah. And can you tell me about your experiences in barber school? Was it cool?
Oh man, barber school was fun, dude.
Yeah.
Barber school was a fucking blast. You met a lot of unique people in there, and being from Baltimore, and then the school was in Park Heights. If y'all know where Park Heights is, yeah. So it was cool because everyone was a jokester in there. So imagine a bunch of me's in there. Lunchtime, everybody went behind the building, did the puff puff pass thing. So it was fun. And then yeah, it was a good time.
So you guys were high off your ass and just learning how to cut.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a lot of creativity over there. Now, was it until kind of barber school that you ran into just your hard days during barber
The
school?
hardships, let me see. The hardships probably happened when my mom left and she came to Thailand, and then I had the house. And then everything literally just dropped at once.
How come your mom went back to Thailand?
That was her plan. She, wanted to buy a house here and live and retire out here.
Yeah.
And I should have moved back, but I'm too hard-headed. I wanted to keep the house and show her I could keep the house.
Yeah.
But stress comes into a lot of play, and like I said, everything kind of falls into one big thing, trying to pay bills and you name it. So I ended up getting sick around 30, 31.
Yeah.
So I was playing basketball, I was trying to get back in shape, and pushed it real hard to the end, and all my friends left, and luckily my ex-girlfriend was there, and I just told her, I was like, I can't even drive. I was like, I don't have any energy to get up. So I got home, passed out, didn't even shower, so 4 days I felt like that, and finally I called she's like my little sister, Lisa, shout out. She was living in Northern Virginia. I told her to call her mom. Her mom's a nurse, so she's good friends with my mom. So she comes to my house, she tries to take my pulse. She's like, Max, you need to go to the hospital. I can't take your pulse, it's too fast. So I said, I'll wait till tomorrow because I don't have health insurance and I'm not paying all that stuff. I'm not paying that money.
Yeah.
So next day happens and it's even worse. I have no energy to answer the door. They were outside the door for about 30 minutes and they're about to call 911. So finally get to the ER, they hook everything up, she takes my pulse, and my pulse is at 215 per minute.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's quite high.
Yeah.
So they take me back to the machines and then back in the ER room, test me. They shoot me something with a 15 milligram of something, I don't know what it is. It brought it down to 188. Then they shoot me again, it brought it down to 176 and just stayed at 176. And I was in the ER for about 2-3 hours.
What were you diagnosed with?
I don't know. I'll get to that.
Okay.
So they did a nurse shift change. Male nurse comes in, the hot nurses go out.
Damn.
Yeah. So the male nurse starts talking to the doctor, and he's like, let's shoot him up with the 18 milligram. And the doctor was like, well, we only did the 18 milligram with one other person, and we already shot him up with the 15 milligram twice.
Yeah.
So they shoot me with the 18 milligram. And my friend Lisa, who I told you about, she drove from Northern Virginia all the way to downtown Baltimore to come see me. As soon as she walked in to see me, the machines start going off, beep, 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 the whole 9 yards. And then Dr. comes in, everybody get the fuck out who's not a nurse or doctor. And he said, Max, you okay? I did this, and then boom, I was out. And then I kind of remember coming out of it and asking everyone in the ER room, where do you guys get your haircut? Because I'm a barber. And he finally comes in and he says, Max, he was like, why are you holding out on me? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you didn't tell me you're a barber. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a barber. He was like, well, I just want to let you know. He was like, you just died, and then we brought you back. We defibrillated you back. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he said he wants to keep me in the hospital for observation and see what's going on with me. So I was in the hospital for, I don't know, shit, man, long time. At least 12 days, getting pricked, prod, trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Finally, like on the 12th day, 2 doctors come in. One's a cardiac surgeon and one's a pulmonary doctor. And he says, you either have 2 things. You have HIV, which you don't have because of your blood work, or you have pulmonary cardiac sarcoidosis. And the only way to figure out if you have that, if you take a biopsy of your lung. And if y'all don't know what a biopsy is, it's a tissue sample. So I asked the doctor, I said, is this gonna hurt? He said, a little bit, it's uncomfortable. When a doctor says, it's gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So I get into the room and there's like 3 doctors prepping everything. There's one lady off to the side, a black lady standing to the side, and they tell me to breathe in this mask. It's like a Mr. Freeze mask, and it's like to numb my mouth and my throat and my lungs. I breathe into that for about 30 minutes, and it's cotton mouth everywhere. I can't, there's no saliva, no nothing. So they strap me to the table, you know, like leather straps or whatever. The black lady comes over literally just to hold my hand, just because she knows I'm about to be in some fucking pain. They put an intubator tube down my throat. And then the doctors come in, they put the tubes up my nose, then they do that, what's it, microscopic, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Screen's right there, I'm awake, mind you, not even sedated. And they needed two tissue samples from each lung. So it was actually, you know, coming out between my ribs over here.
Yeah.
So that came out positive as that disease, pulmonary cardiac sarcoidosis. And there's no cure for it. So they said they don't want this to happen again, so we're gonna do a minor heart surgery. So they put a defibrillator in my chest. So I am a human walking Iron Man. And my battery needs to be changed within a year, I think.
Damn.
So, yeah, so that recovery was long and strenuous. Depression hit big time. And then addiction came into play. And yeah, it was rough, man. You know, you make bad decisions and you kind of have to live with them. And you know, it was rough trying to find places to stay, and you just couldn't find places to stay sometimes. Hotels here, sleeping in parking lots. It was tough times, man.
Whatever happened to the house that you had after your mom moved here?
I ended up losing it because I did one of those faulty FHA loans, and I wasn't able to keep it.
Yeah.
So I lost the house, and that took a toll on me. Mentally, physically, yeah. So with the disease, I asked them, why did I get it? They said, we don't know because there's no cure for it. We don't know how people get it. We just know it is brought out by stress. When they say stress will kill somebody, it will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Yes. So they think I got it from when I came to Thailand when I was younger. My cousin used to incubate baby chickens inside the house. Mind you, I was 7 years old, 8 years old. And in the back of his house, he had peacocks, African grays, cockatiels, if you know what that is. It's very, very exotic birds. So if y'all know, birds are pretty dirty creatures.
Yeah.
So they think a virus, maybe the bird flu, was, you know, stuck onto me from that young of an age and was dormant this whole time and finally came out when I was like 30-ish. So, you know, all that happened, and yeah, battle with addiction, and then yeah, get in trouble with the law, for sure.
Were you rolling with like a pretty rough crowd in Baltimore?
Rough crowd, yeah, I wouldn't say a rough crowd. I mean, it's when you hang around negative energy, you're gonna bring a lot of negative energy. I'm not saying everybody in Baltimore is like that. I met a lot of great people. But the people at the time that I was associating myself with was just negative energy. Yeah. Just the environment was negative.
You know, when you got in trouble with law, like what happened?
Possession, mainly possession, but felony possession.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 2 strikes. The second strike happened, I can't remember what year, but that was a big hit because my mom, she ended up having a stroke. So having a stroke, I couldn't come to Thailand, or she had the stroke and I couldn't come to Thailand just because the simple fact that I was on probation.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get that cleared, and finally I could get it cleared because I had videotape of what happened and the police officers were at the wrong. So I told my mom, I was like, I'll be there in 3 months. And then it was like November, and then January she passed. And yeah, that was the last time. The last time I saw my mom alive was when I got sick in the hospital. Oh. 2003, I believe, or 5, I can't remember. Yeah, but that was the last time I saw my mom. Was, shit, dude, fuck, I don't know, over 15 years, like 13 years, something like that.
Shit,
alive,
man.
yeah. So if she didn't pass, I'd be dead or in jail, probably dead. So it's a blessing in disguise. I'm here. Health is 200% better. If I told you I was fat, y'all be laughing. I had a waist that was 42. Yeah, everything is much better here, man.
So after, I mean, after the unfortunate incident of your mom passing, like, did those events transpire you to eventually make the move over to Thailand?
Yeah, so I had to come for the funeral, obviously.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay. There wasn't much for me left in Baltimore, and I just decided to start new. Yeah, pretty much. And here I am. I got my own business.
Well, I mean, how so? Can you walk through the steps of like just moving over to Thailand? Like,
it was.
you felt like Baltimore was. There's nothing for me in Baltimore anymore.
There wasn't anything for me in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I had good friends. I had a decent job, but there was just too much negative energy, I guess you could say. It was just too much.
With like the law, drugs.
The law, drugs, addiction. It was just too much. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to risk going to jail or dying. So it was a blessing in disguise. So a lot of people ask me why I have this 24 tattooed on me.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's Kobe, but it's not Kobe. Thai people were superstitious, and I'm born on the 24th, and my mom, she passed on the 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I got a tattoo. So like something like that kind of strikes you in your mind and your heart because it makes you want to stay. It's home. Yeah.
There's a lot of sentimental value. I mean, this is where your mother passed. This is
Yeah.
your ancestral
Yeah,
homeland.
like it's you're second generation. I'm second generation. One of my good friends, he always told me, he was like, yeah, you should move here, like a long time ago. He's like, you should move here, it's your home. I didn't really realize what he was saying at the time until I got older. He was like, yeah, it's your roots, you belong here.
Yeah.
Like, America is America. Like, that's a whole another conversation. But yeah, America is America. So, but I feel much comfortable here. Even the Americans here that aren't Thai or Asian feel more comfortable here. Yes.
Yeah. It's something about Thailand.
The energies here is more positive. I don't have to look around my back. I don't have to, worry about what's going to happen across the street. Shit
Very
like that.
safe here.
It's way safer here.
So
Yeah.
when you made the move over to Thailand, you were like, all right, Baltimore's finished. Let me start me over here in Thailand. Mm-hmm. Did you, besides relatives, you said your father was over here too.
Yes.
What other supports? Can you tell me about the support system?
All my Thai American friends, except one, that are born in Maryland, pretty much moved back here. Yeah, so that was my system, my support system. They are my family, so shout out to them. Yeah, so they've been here like 8 years roughly, and then I meet a lot of other Thai American guys kind of in the same situation as me, and they're super, super happy. We got mutual friends, you know them.
Hell yeah, those crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, those crazy motherfuckers.
So can you tell me more about, moving here, you're getting, changing your environment, which is absolutely important since you're caught up in, I think you're a product of your environment. Environment plays a huge role in our lives. When you made the move over here, did you immediately know that you wanted to start up your own barbershop? Become a business owner, an entrepreneur?
Not just yet. Not until I actually started cutting hair and realized there's a niche market for foreigners to get their hair cut, obviously with someone who's a foreigner who can speak English.
Yeah.
So I built my customer base, and I said, you know what, I might as well do this myself. And I'd rather be my own boss than work for someone else.
Hell yeah, absolutely. So you were cutting hair at your own shop, at a different shop. You were apprenticing.
I was working at another shop, and like I said, I was working there for about 3 years. And I built my clientele to where I was like, I think I'm confident enough to open my own shop. And I had an opportunity to open it, and I did. I opened in the first wave of COVID.
Yeah. This is absolutely crazy story. You literally opened your barbershop during COVID.
I opened it July 25th, 2020. Yeah, it just actually the 2-year anniversary just happened actually.
Congratulations!
So,
I'm very happy to hear.
Yes. So now since the country opened up and everything is looking on the bright side. But before it was a little scary. I didn't think it was going to last this long, but I'm still here.
Wait, so can you walk through the process of you said pretty much F it. Let me just own my own barbershop, you already had money saved up and just, bought
Yeah.
bought land and whatnot?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm renting the place, obviously, but I didn't buy the land. Yeah, I had a lump sum of money that I could have used, and I said, screw it, I gotta do my own thing. Yeah, everybody should be their own boss. Some people aren't built that way, but it's better to be built that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that. And then ever since moving here, did you feel like your overall health was significantly much better?
Yeah, so with my health, they told me to take, the medical company is a medical company. They want to stay rich. So
Facts.
they told me to take this medication. It's prednisone. Prednisone is a steroid. And what it does, it increases your sugar intake. So it makes you fat or water weight. So I was almost 200 pounds. I had a waist size up to 42. People did not recognize me.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, it was. I look like Nutty Professor. So I was on that for a while, and it deteriorated my health. The more that you take it, the more you take anything, it just deteriorates your health. So the more that you took it, it lowered my immune system, which I already had a lowered immune system. So I had multiple ER runs and multiple 911 calls.
Here in Bangkok?
No. This is back in the States.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had my 30s before I came to Thailand was pretty much like the craziest time of my life, in not a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not a good way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. A lot of money lost, a lot of relationships lost, just a lot of bad times.
Now, overall, like, let's say your lifestyle, just moving to Bangkok, your health was, your physical and your mental health was getting much, much better ever since moving here.
Yeah.
Starting up your own business, being your own boss.
Yeah. Yeah, everything cleared up. I met some great people. Met my girlfriend, obviously. That helps. Health-wise, I don't take medication. I don't take hard medication. Yeah, I'm pretty good to go, man. I play basketball twice a week. Yeah, I can hang with the young kids playing basketball. I'm not telling you my age, but I'm much older than these younger kids. Yeah.
All right, and then you can still hoop with them. And,
Oh, for sure. They know that.
All right, one of these days, I gotta see you play ball. I'm atrocious at basketball.
Eric's seen me play, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to see me in the court ever again.
Yeah? When you schooled his ass?
I didn't. Well, no, that's another subject.
Take that as a yes. But I'm very happy to sit down and speak with you about hearing your life story and just hearing all the some of the rough times that you had to go through, your mom passing.
Yeah, that's life, man. Like in order to appreciate life, you have to struggle. You just have to struggle. You have to see the bad things of life. That's life. You have ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride. There's never going to be a high point in your life where you're going to be happy. Once you lose a parent, that's when things kind of get serious. You realize life is more precious than you. Yeah. So, happiness. If you are happy, you will bring happiness to everyone else. That's it. And I think that's the main thing.
So just put out positive energy.
Man. Like, I think everybody can realize who has bad energy or negative energy, and I'm not with that anymore. So.
Our mutual friend Eric,
Yeah.
Great
guy.
Yeah, our mutual friend Eric, I sat down with him and did an interview, and he says Thailand is one of those places you put in what you get back.
Yeah.
So if you're a positive guy, you're hardworking, you take care of people, this country will take care of you.
Of course.
And then if you're, I hate to say it, but if you're a dickhead, then you deserve to be treated like a dickhead.
Yes, of course. Thailand's, there's a land of smiles. There's a joke also. They said, why is it a land of smiles? It's because when you ask a Thai person something in English, they don't know what the fuck he's saying. They sit there and smile. But no, Thailand is all about karma. So you reap what you sow. Yeah, it's exactly what you said. You give out positive vibes, you give good advice, whatever, people are going to help you out. Yeah.
I can definitely attest to that. Ever since moving here to Thailand, I've just been an overall much happier person, and it's the same for you as well too. Just
everyone who I interview in my chair, talk to in my chair, love it in Thailand. They do not want to be in the States, they don't want to be in the UK. They rather stay here. That's just plain and simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Max, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to
Anytime, bro.
tell me your life story. If you guys are in town, if you guys need a solid barber, definitely check out Be More Barbers near the BTS over on Chak. I'm gonna put all the links in the description down below. So definitely come to his spot, get a dope haircut. Especially most of your clientele is foreign, and then for all the black folks out there living here in Thailand, he does a fantastic job cutting black people hair.
Shout out them.
Any last words?
No, not really, man. Thanks, Forrest. Subscribe to this channel, Forrest Lee. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Just be happy with what you got. Every time you feel down, realize there's always someone else better than you and someone else worse off than you. So just be happy with what you got.
Awesome. Appreciate it, brother.
Peace.
Later.